Good evening, Africa. Welcome to This is African Football. Thursday nights, we take you through everything that was hitting the headlines as far as football is concerned on the African continent. On the menu tonight, of course, we all witnessed that draw of the CAF 22 World Cup Qualifiers. Micho heading to Zambia. Yes, it is the Tanzanian captain, Samantha, making history, becoming the first player joining Barclays Premier League football. And of course, when you talk about being broke, lack of funds, teams not honoring fixtures, you only find that in the Kenya Premier League. It is AFC Leopards. They are broke. These and other stories coming during this show tonight. Let me take this opportunity to introduce the guests that are here tonight. There is no way that I can take you through this on my own. Greg Tiaf is back with a bang. Jeff Katala is back. He took an extended holiday. He's here. Timothy Patabaire is here. And award-winning journalist Velile Mnyandu. They are here ready to go. And to you who's at home, we want to hear from you. Really get in touch with us. This is African Football. #Frun Sports. Good evening, gentlemen. Let's get right into it as we want to look at what has been happening on the African continent. Yes, we witnessed, I think the issue that we can study should be what is happening in Zambia. It might happen, it might not. Micho, after leaving Zamalek, maybe it was Orlando Pirates, Johannesburg, Cairo, now Lusaka. Velile, is he in or not? Is he got the job or not? Some contrasting. We don't know where it is, but is there any confirmation that Micho finally has joined the Chipolopolo of Zambia?
Well, look, according to FAS, Football Association of Zambia, they have made their call to say they had a short list and shortlisted 3 coaches, and they had a man who top scored. I can tell you that they had a number of coaches they were looking at, and they settled for the top 3, and then they also ran the interviews. And in terms of point scoring, Micho top scored with 323 points. They had Abel Xavier, the coach of former coach of Mozambique,
yes.
And the Portuguese international. He was at 306.
Yes.
In terms of the points, and they had Ivan Minat, I think is Belgian. He was on 291. Then they had a host.
Who was giving these points? Who?
What
was this an election?
What's the point of these points?
Was this an election of some sort?
Do you know who else Zambia was also? They were also shortlisted in their top 10. Giovanni Solinas. What a joke! Jesus Christ.
Okay.
They had Solinas there.
But he didn't apply.
You know why I'm laughing?
Yes.
Because Chairman Mr. Mtaung, he was quoted saying the worst coach they've ever appointed was Solinas. So that's why I'm laughing.
One man's meat is another man's poison. You never know.
And this guy, you see, for me, now this is the influence of the agents. You have someone on this list who's just failed Swaziland, and he's been fired by Swaziland, Konstantin Papish.
He was also on the list.
Yes.
He was on the list as well. You know, but I'm not saying anything about this phase, but you know, for me, but you know. So now the situation was that. The situation was that.
But they welcome invitations. You know, if you feel you qualify, you apply. So
No, the fact that for me, even in terms of point scoring, Solinas was number 5 on the list.
Maybe international football is different from club.
He's never coached an international team like
that's
this
what
guy.
I'm trying to say. Maybe you have more time to rest, more time to.
Okay,
to
gentlemen.
see
All right.
So the situation now, as things stand,
is this?
yeah. So Faz went on to agree everything with Micho.
Okay.
And also agree that he's going to bring his own goalkeeper coach. He's also going to bring a fitness trainer.
Yeah.
He's going to bring an analyst as well.
Yeah.
He's going to bring an assistant coach. But the second assistant coach will be a local coach. You know? But now, here's the sticky issue. They also agree with him that they're going to pay him 25,000 USD a month, of which 10,000 USD of this amount is going to be paid by the minister. Ministry of Sport. And 15,000 USD is going to be coming from FAS. So this whole information is contained in a letter that was written on Thursday today, to the Ministry of Sport, Minister of Sport to be exact. And the Minister of Sport, 360 degrees today, he holds a press conference.
Yes.
He says he's not been informed of anything.
The payment or
No.
the appointment.
Well, he doesn't know.
The recommendation on anything. He's still waiting for FAS. He doesn't know anything. Today. But here's a letter to the Minister of Sport.
But I think for me, that's the
Okay.
You know, here's a letter to the Minister of Sport. So you just don't know now who's who in this who.
I mean, it's a sport too. I mean, they have power there, you know, because some money
Okay,
is coming
no,
from that
let's
side there.
okay. Let's talk Micho now. It seems as if he's the man for the job.
Yeah.
Of course, Velile definitely not maybe pleased with the other candidates
So
that
that
we're
is-
supposed to. But now let's look at
Come on, it's a joke.
football wise.
Come on, it's a joke. Solinas.
Yeah,
No,
like,
but it's
like we said.
but it's just only coach
Yeah,
club
no,
side. National team is a different.
Let's leave
ball game.
all these other coaches that you might
Yeah.
label. Remember, there was the coach that BBK in one of the platforms.
I become something else.
He labeled him with some names there. But the coach went on to help Kenya
Yeah.
qualify. But now, Greg,
Yeah.
Zambia missing out on 2 AFCONs.
Yeah.
2017, they were not there. 2019, former champions, 2012.
Yeah.
Looking at Micho, we all know what he's done. As a coach, I don't think you can doubt his ability.
I mean, he has done so well for himself, you know. With the Zambian and with the Ugandan national team,
Yes.
that's where you give him credit, you know, and he has done so much in terms of club side. You watch him at Pirate, they did very well. They missed him when he left, you know, and he went to Zamalek. It didn't work well for him. But I think with Zambia, they have the right guy. For me, they have the right guy. My only issue is for giving him 2 years. I mean, what's coming out from Zambia is 2 years contract.
You would have wanted more.
Yeah, more because that's when the AFCON is going to finish 2021.
2021, 2022 World Cup. Maybe that's the reason.
Yeah,
you want
yeah.
more.
So-
Why is he saying that he's the right guy?
No, he's the right guy because there's a lot of candidates there that went for interview. I mean,
No,
he's
you
the
are
one that
saying
is-
he's the right guy because of what he has done
Yeah,
in the
yeah.
likes of Uganda.
Yeah, in terms of Uganda.
So you think
So
that
national,
yes,
I think in
yes.
terms of national team, I think he has more time, to coach the boys. Don't forget he has some players that they're not even playing at Pirate now, but
Yes.
he work with them, Mulenga and Shongwe. I think they're gonna do very well for him. He know how they play. For me, Micho is anytime in the day is the right coach. Zambia pick, but result need to judge for itself.
Okay. Jeff, you seem to disagree. Looking at this name that we know he has had relative success on the continent of Africa. We don't know much what happened. It's difficult to judge Jeff in his short spell at Zamalek.
No, you take out Zamalek one.
Look, yeah, that's what I'm saying. That,
Yeah.
but
No, you
somebody,
can't take it
but
out.
you
You
can't.
won-
You
you won
might
a cup.
need- So I want to hear your thoughts, Jeff, as to this coach
No, it
and
doesn't-
also Zambia. Looking at where Zambia is, as the kind of coach that Zambia would have needed at the moment. Because
Yeah, the
if
straight
you look
away
at-
I will say it's, for me, I don't have anything against Micho,
Yes.
but given the Zambian pedigree, he's not the right coach for Zambia.
Why is that?
Because I believe that Zambia has a pool of former players that have played the game at a very highest level. If they can have a panel of those kind of people for the time being, just to help the national team to qualify in all fronts they're engaged in, so then they can now implement a strategy going forward. I'm talking about Elijah Litana. I'm talking about Kenny Malitoli. I'm talking about Joe Boalia. Those are the kind that have played the game at the very highest level for Zambia. So they know the game, they know the player inside out. Why not calling them? Why most of the time we
Call
have
them
to
to
go?
coach.
Yes.
But
But
for
they
me-
have
But they're not
famous-
coaching then.
they have the
no,
famous-
no, that's not a problem. If you look at just previously, Zambia has been under a local coach.
And they said they want foreign coach.
And they have not been performing well.
Exactly. For some time now.
For
I
some
think
time now, yeah.
they've
From Nyirenda.
And they've missed the last 2 AFCONs.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, in the case of Nyirenda, remember
and
that when Nyirenda took over, he had all the players. And
Yes.
when they lost the game against Nigeria for the World Cup, and Nyirenda changed after that, he took all the young boys that went to the under 20, the Patson Daka, Mulenga, and they performed very, very well.
Yes.
If only in Uyo, that referee from Botswana
No.
didn't
They are playing against Super Eagles.
Oh,
No, Mr. Jeff, they are playing against Super Eagles. No. Mr. Jeff, we charged them. We charged them very well.
That referee, if he didn't disallow that goal, Zambia was going to the World Cup under Nyirenda.
Mr. Jeff, we beat them hands down.
But Greg Tiaf, okay, I think that is always the issue when a coach is appointed in Africa at national team level. There will always be, do we go with the local coach or do we go with actually the foreigners? And if you look at now the involvement of the local coaches, the names that you've just mentioned, it will always be in question as to the level that they are involved in terms of coaching. Isn't it? Playing, the credentials, they speak for themselves. These players have played at the highest level. It's like your Cameroon.
And
it's like your Ghana.
And to be fair,
now, in terms of involvement,
to be fair to this statement, you know, when I look at Zambia today, the top coaches in Zambia, you talk about your George Londamina.
Yes,
You talk about the one who was acting now,
was it,
Chiangi.
yes.
Or you talk about the former Pirates player.
Because those are the those are those.
Perimutapa.
Peremutapa.
There is coaching.
Yes.
Those
But
are the,
they're not
I just
tracking
gave
it.
him now.
no.
Here's the issue.
But
No,
if you talk about I want to hold you there, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Why European coaches? How many of the European coaches have come with a Champions League medal to coach in Africa? How many have come?
Micho understands the African
because
football.
But
We're talking about Zambia now.
I'm talking about, we always bring the issue of what have our African coaches done,
Yeah.
isn't it? But when the European coaches come on our shores of Africa,
Yes.
do they come with having won the Champions League, the Europa League?
They are-
Tell me one coach.
They are
we
job,
came.
they are job seekers, and the one who have succeeded in Africa, they are not more than 2. I would say Claude Leroy and Hervé Renard.
The late
But
as well,
Hervé
the late Bruno Musso.
Hervé Renard used to use Africa as a platform for his own marketing. And when he won the cup, he goes to Europe. When he wins the
What is
the
he
cup,
now? He's in Saudi
No,
Arabia.
yeah, because he's getting a lot of money.
So it
He's
is
getting
it is-
no.
it is-
I was
so for
coming
me-
back to the example
Yes.
of Nigeria.
Yes.
I sat, unfortunately, he is late now.
Yes.
I sat with Keshi in Rustenburg in 2013.
Yes.
And he told me, I knew that they want to sack me because I didn't pick up this
Certain
one
players.
and this one.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I've taken 3 local based
Yes, he
players.
did. He came with local best players.
Yeah, I know they said, but Jeff, watch the space. You see what I'm going to do.
And he
But
won.
not only he was vindicated by a local player
yes.
who scored
Who scored the
winning goal,
Sunday
True.
back.
and
Yeah.
then he resigns.
Yes.
Yeah, but I think
Yes.
in Micho's case we need to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Micho has got a case study already.
Yeah.
Okay.
Taking a team that had not qualified to the AFCON in 39 years
Yeah.
and taking that team to the AFCON. And in fact, if you look at the World Cup qualifiers, he left in the middle of the World Cup qualifiers.
Yes.
And the team was doing well at that stage.
Yeah.
I don't want to say if had he remained with the team and didn't jump ship and went to Orlando
Yeah,
Pirates.
but let me
Yeah,
correct
you
you. That
understand?
team was not doing well because of Micho. Micho took over from someone who has worked so well to get that team there. The Grands.
Yeah.
You're talking about the Grands.
Yes.
The Grands of Uganda.
Yes.
the one that qualified.
Oh, yeah,
after
the way
10
local
years.
coach. I forgot his name. He
No,
was there.
Timothy's here.
But
But Micho spent a lot of time. No. But Micho deserves credit.
Okay, listen.
Okay, maybe
Wait,
you know what?
Let's give example.
You Kinshasa, I'm Joe Began. Here's the man from Kampala.
Help us, please.
Yeah.
Help us.
Please, Timo.
With Micho coming on board,
Yeah.
actually, I think he put the finishing touches on the squad
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
eventually qualified, and he takes credit for it.
Yes.
His management his assembling of the squad.
Yeah.
Because we had, I think, three
Because
times
you were
we
part
were
of
very
it.
close. We were just missing by goal difference.
Difference, yeah.
Goal difference. Actually, we beat. We even beat Nigeria.
Yeah.
When we,
Yes.
when we beat Nigeria,
Where you
we
beat
went-
Nigeria? In Uganda or in Nigeria?
No,
in Uganda,
in
then we
Uganda,
went to
in
Nigeria.
Kampala.
In
Yes.
Nigeria, they beat us 1-0, but
Goal
Seru
difference.
Kuma scored
I
in the
remember that
90th
game.
minute.
I remember that game.
In the corner kick.
Yes.
Both linesmen put up the flag for offside.
It's not a goal.
Timothy, corner kick.
Timothy,
And that's not-
when it's not a
that's
goal, it's
when-
not a goal.
Eh,
That's
that-
when
No,
Timothy,
like-
no, Jeff,
yeah,
no.
like-
Don't push the goalkeeper.
No.
There's a Frenchman.
And that's when-
Like
and that's
Daniel
when-
Bennett, like Daniel Bennett robbed. Like Daniel Bennett robbed Ghana against
Yes.
you.
No,
in Kampala.
So for me,
Okay, no.
for
Yes, Tim.
if you're looking at Micho pedigree, as a former student of Micho, knowing how he works and everything like that, the choice of Zambia, we should recognize that Zambia is a sleeping giant right now. They are underperforming. They are not starved of talent. I think I can safely say Zambia will be the first team that will have good, talented players that Micho will manage
Correct.
in his coaching career.
Correct.
So in this, if the conditions are permitting, if the scrambles in the boardroom don't affect the team, and that's the ministry trying to play politics with the federation, I think Zambia has got an opportunity to rekindle what we know them of.
Okay, gentlemen. So
So what are you saying?
no, he's.
do you
I
credit-
think he's endorsing. He's happy
No,
that Micho
no.
yes, could be able to.
No. The question from Jeff was, do we credit Micho?
Yes, he takes the credit.
Okay.
Okay, no.
But
Okay, no. I think
There's no but. In football, there's no second best.
No, 90 minutes.
leave.
There's a Frenchman on the goalkeeper. There's no chance. If it's not a goal, it's not a goal.
Okay,
But beat you
now,
1-0.
now let me
How
get back
can
to
there
Jeff.
be an
Let me-
infringement
Timothy,
when it is a header?
Let me get back to Jeff. I think in terms of now, the Chipolopolo, looking at the politics around, looking at the new men coming, whether it's Micho or not, we don't know, but it looks like it's Micho.
Yeah.
Is this a country, Jeff, that he has to rebuild?
Yes.
Okay.
The country has got a lot of potential. I watch Zambian League and I've seen some of the teams in the cup inter-club competition.
Yes.
They're doing very well, even if they're not winning as we wish to. But the way they're deploying the game plan, I saw Ozesco against DCMP in Kinshasa. Actually, they were leading, and the local club equalized in the last minute. So Zambia will always have a pool of players that need to be nurtured to become a very, very good team. That's why in 1994,
To this AFCON with Zambia. But you look at the performance. I mean, I remember some of the games they were playing. If you remember in those qualifiers, they lost
Who
the
was
first
the
game
coach?
at home.
Sven.
Nyirenda.
Sven.
No,
No.
Van
der Broek.
Yes,
The Van der
exactly.
No.
It was Sven.
No.
The one
I
from
think he-
Sweden,
I think-
or Norway.
I
something.
think I think he
Yeah.
came in the middle of the campaign.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That
Yeah,
yes,
yeah,
it
but
was
I think-
Nyirenda
but I
started,
think-
isn't it?
Yeah,
No. Niganda didn't start.
He didn't
Nyirenda
start,
had
no.
left.
Oh,
Nyirenda
okay.
had left.
I think they
He
had
left.
a
He
caretaker
left.
coach.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then they ended with Sven van der Broek.
Yeah.
All
So because Nyirenda, I think when Nyirenda left,
Uganda left just after the World Cup campaign.
yeah, no. When Nyirenda left, I think you're right. They were finishing the World Cup campaign.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and they brought in some of the players. You could see what Nyarenda was trying to build.
Exactly.
You know,
That's what I was
Because
saying.
Nyarenda was coming
Exactly.
with the boys who
The
because
under
at that time
Yes.
they went to
Your
play
pastors,
Algeria.
your
Yeah.
Enoch
Yeah, they went to
Mwepes
play
also.
Algeria, but they were already out.
The way,
You know, so there was these boys who were coming from.
they finished second after
Nigeria.
Nigeria. Yes, they finished second.
Yes, they were out. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, but
They were already out. Yeah.
they were already out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
they were after they lost in
Yes.
Nigeria, but
Yes.
they went to Cameroon and drew in
Yes.
Cameroon.
Yes,
I
yes.
think they beat Algeria as well.
Yes, yes.
In a way.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So what was happening? He brought in these boys, and I remember these boys because I had covered them a lot.
Yeah, I know.
From the under 20
Yeah.
AFCON,
Rustenburg,
in
COSAFA as well.
the COSAFA
Yeah.
as
Yes.
well,
Because
and we went to South
got
Korea.
rid of Mesuma because they think that
and
he
these are
is
the boys
Zidane.
now. When you look at them, Emmanuel Banda, Petson Daka,
Paistan Daka,
Fashion Sakala,
Mulenga.
you know,
Stronger.
yes. So these are the boys. Even now, I mean, Daka and Enoch Mwepes.
Yeah.
At Red Bull Salzburg. You know, these are the boys who are playing Champions League.
Yeah.
You know, and you could see the effect of these boys when Zambia Argentina got knocked out and they came to join the team to play against Zimbabwe after they had lost 5-0 in the first game against Algeria. But and then they brought in this charlatan of a coach. This Belgian who's now coaching at Simba. Hey, you know, that guy was arrogant. I remember when he chased me out of the camp here at Mill Park when the team was training here. Charlatan of a coach, you know. But
He won. They just won. Is it 2 days back?
All
They
right,
won
no, but he
3-1.
failed Zambia.
All right,
He is
let's
the
move on.
reason Zambia failed to qualify
Alright.
to be at this AFCON.
Okay,
you know?
gentlemen.
So I think for me, it's unfortunate that Faz has failed this Chipolopolo team. You know, if you look at the talent, you look at the boys who are here, the Shongas of this world, the Mulengas, these young boys from the under 20s that I'm talking about,
Even
the Kamboles,
in
you know, the
local,
talent,
in
you
the
know,
local game.
But
you know what?
Yeah.
But you
But
know what? I'm South African. I'm South African as they come, but I can put my head on the block now and say the current Zimbabwe squad, in terms of talent, is better than Bafana Bafana.
There you go.
But one
Okay,
thing the game
let's-
must know, last story, at least now, they can start
Let me
somewhere.
up.
They
Yeah.
can start somewhere. With Micho, you understand the African football, and a lot of players, you have worked with them, you know. So I think it's good for Micho.
All right.
No, but also it's got to be said that Micho, if maybe Faz and the Minister of Sport
Yeah,
they
then
come
come
into
to agree.
senses,
Yeah.
and Micho starts on the 27th of this month on Monday, as expected. Hey, is
Yeah, but if you
you
ask,
see, it's going to be very difficult for him.
All
But
right,
because,
I want
because
to
he's
move
in a
on,
group,
gentlemen.
he's in a group that has got Algeria and Zimbabwe, and he's lost the first 2 matches already. You know,
yeah,
So-
this is my
After-
worry
after
because
he's got-
he's got cut out for him.
he's already under pressure,
yes,
and it's not good for Micho's name.
all right.
I want him to start
But
the
now,
fresh.
if you talk about as we
But
move
for
on,
for now,
I want to move on,
think
gentlemen.
It ponders well for
I've
him.
got so much-
because at this moment in time, there is only one way to go. It's just to get up.
Yeah.
So if he gets the job, I know he can always structure team. He can
Yeah.
always structure team, and actually Algeria and Zimbabwe will get a run for them. And
yeah, no, it's
all
got the
right,
talent, yeah.
let's move on, gentlemen. This is African football. Our listeners kindly contact us as well. Hashtag Frun Sports. Do you agree that Micho is the right man for the job for Chipolopolo? Local coach maybe could have done the job or not. Yes, he's got the pedigree. He did wonders with the likes of Uganda in questionnaires. Jeff asked that, was it only him or he took already a team that was in motion? As we move on, we look at other stories as well making headlines, and that is the captain from Tanzania making a move from Belgium, Craig Tiaf, Samata. He was under, maybe it's a Nigerian touch there.
I know
That
when you
now
when you
just
play with
made him
Nigerian
to be
players.
this prolific striker.
No, man. I mean,
Now he finds himself playing for Aston Villa. Great move.
Very good move. You know, Tanzania. You know, I have a Tanzania colleague there in my club. There, you know, they're so happy. Even the Minister of Sport, you know, congratulating him. You know, he's the first Tanzania by the way, before he moved outside, he was playing for Simba, you know. So
Simba, TP Mazembe.
yeah. So I think he has done so well for himself. It's a great move, 4.5 years deal, but you know, and they won just yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's a great move for him. He has done so well, you know, a lot of goals he has scored for Genk, and I think it's the right time for him to move, because I mean, a player have 76 goals, you know, 20 assists, you know. I mean, he has done well. But he was playing Champions League. Now he's going to fight the relegation battle. But I think for Tanzania, and I think for the national team, I think for himself, it's a good move for him.
Good move, Jeff, for a player now making a move, although he might miss on Champions League. But yeah, you wouldn't underestimate as well the difference between the two leagues. And you play Champions League sometimes when you are in these lower leagues in Europe, so that you could make that big jump. And you don't it's hardly where you jump from a team in Belgium to the top 4, the top 6 in England. You might come through your Southampton, you might come through your Aston Villa. I'm sure we might see this player in the future playing Champions League again.
Absolutely. You know, Samantha is the role model of how African youth should behave going forward. He has been very patient. He started from Simba, and at Simba he was a hero. He didn't rush to go to Turkey or to go to Saudi Arabia. He stayed.
Took his time.
And he went to TP Mazembe. And TP Mazembe, he started being most of the time the top goal scorer. And I sat with a TP Mazembe general manager, Frederick Kitenge. He said, this guy is a diamond. He's going to go far. And most of the time, he will listen to what they say to him. And when there was the time was right for him, they asked him if he want to move. And then he said yes. He went to Brugge. And the first year, he didn't really perform. Not even the second year. Only the third year, he became the top goal scorer. And he was even given what do they call the shoe?
Golden boot.
No, not the golden boot. They call it the shoe of Ben or something like that, which is given to foreign players, the best foreign players in the Belgian Championship. Yes, and he did that, and now today he's going to Aston Villa. Don't mind that because he's not going to play the Champions League game. Yeah, but that's a very good move.
It's a good move.
Because if he settles himself at Villa Park at Birmingham, he will set a precedent for most people or for most guys from Tanzania. Yes, because Tanzania was behind. We saw even Burundi used to have a player with the Newcastle, Beranyo. But in Tanzania, we didn't have that. We thought probably that Umlingo would do that. But Umlingo was so quick in his judgment to leave TP Mazembe and going to Norway, where he failed and went back to Tanzania. He didn't come to TP Mazembe. They didn't want him there.
Yeah, there's just one thing. I'm not sure... is he going to get the work permit because there's strict rules?
No, because he has played 100%.
He was
national team as well.
Of the national team.
No,
play about 51 games.
No. The ranking.
Yeah,
the ranking of the national
Tanzania.
team. Yes.
What about his
percentage of
spell in Belgium?
No. I think.
Wouldn't it count as well?
I think what could
Yeah,
count,
but he's not coming straight from Africa.
That's what I'm saying.
No. What could count for him? Maybe is the fee involved.
Okay.
Because the amount of money that's involved in getting you in terms of the transfer fee is one of the exceptions that can be used.
Yes,
but
8
as
million.
things stand, he doesn't qualify.
He doesn't qualify.
Yeah, he doesn't qualify when you're going to use his country because his country is outside the top 50.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, gentlemen, as we are deliberating on all these issues,
When you have someone from Ecuador playing in English Premier League,
it might have been the route. You never know. Maybe it was not direct. But
Just
let's
a
listen to this
special
tweet
case
coming
for
from Fidel, one of our listeners, of course. He says, I disagree with Velile. Qualifying for AFCON after 40 years is not an achievement. What trophy do you get for qualification? I think he's just referring to the issue of Micho We
Well,
credited him to him achieving.
I'm not sure if Ugandans will agree. Do you agree with that statement?
After 39 years, he said it.
Yes.
39 years is a long way.
It's a long way.
Yeah.
And that's worth a trophy.
It's worth every
Yeah.
It's
trophy.
a
All right.
milestone, yeah.
You cannot equate it to anything.
No,
I think for me, if you want to see how important was that qualification, go back to the visuals, go back to the pictures on that day, and
It tells
and
you-
how people in
tells the story.
Kampala, the reaction,
Yeah.
not only of the people who were at the match venue itself, but people
I think after that, Uganda
In my
became a
lifetime,
famous side.
Yeah.
my lifetime,
I think
had
after-
to sing the
yes.
national anthem at the African Cup of Nations.
Wow.
And for me, that's everything.
Yeah.
Second to none.
So there was a repeat.
Yes.
And with what is taking place in Uganda, if the infrastructure is done right, there's talent
Yeah.
devoid of the infrastructure. But if the infrastructure is put well with the aid of the government, I think we shall be a football
and
nation.
I think
and
after-
Uganda
after-
has remained a
Uganda
I
is
think
a
after
football,
team.
Uganda
I think
is a
after
football nation.
that-
How many times Villa
KCCA.
no, even Nakivubo Villa. How many times have they played in the final of CAF Interclub competitions?
Yeah, I
Twice.
think after that qualification, I think there was a new spring in the step of Uganda.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, Tim, I wanted your thoughts on Samata from East Africa.
Look,
What does it mean?
for me,
Yes, Jeff is just also alluded to the fact that it's massive.
the government laid the caller's call to pass on the congratulation message to this young man. It's not only a personal triumph, but it's a triumph for the whole nation, for the whole region at this moment in time. As a captain of Taifa Stars, he has got a slogan that there is no failing. That's his personal slogan, and signing this contract is testament to his slogan at this moment in time. So for me, he has not only opened the door for African players, but for Tanzanians and even Eastern Central region, because at the moment in time they will ask you which other player is coming from Tanzania. So at least at this moment in time they have a role model in the captain of Samata.
All right, Romulo, tell us your thoughts as well. You who's listening from wherever you are, it is hashtag Frun Sports. You might be from Tanzania. What is going through your mind right now as you've just heard that one of your own is going to be playing Barclays Premier League. Massive move for Samata, the captain for, of course,
Don't
for
forget this is
Tanzania, the
Zimbabwe
Taifa
in-
Stars.
in
Yes, he's going to
Tanzania,
play
in
against
the
marvelous
Aston Villa game.
Nakamba. So yes, hopefully to see that African combination
Yeah.
mesmerizing, all the opponents there in that division. Gentlemen, before we touch CAF 22 World Cup Qualifiers draw, let's look again another Eastern African country. This time around, looking at what is happening in Kenya. Maybe Timothy, you can just elaborate on us there. You know a lot more than we do. It is Leopards really finding it hard to even pay for a venue to play football. I was reading somewhere that in October they could have even surrendered one of their buses. It wanted to be repossessed. Non-payment of players. We've got also situations where even games, some of the games are being, walkovers. Imagine. So things are not going well in Kenya at the present moment, because this is one of the top sides in this league. But you could see they're struggling just to get a playing venue.
Look, Lesto, in East Africa, especially in Kenya, teams are mainly dependent on get takings. That's the kind of how they run the club. So when sponsors do come, like these betting companies come, that was a great relief, to come, but then they pulled out. That could not help matters. So at this moment in time, Leopards has got Nyayo Stadium as their main stadium. So they are able to raise some good revenue coming out of this stadium. So in 2016, the government, earmarked it for renovation. So the renovations have been going on until now. So what is disappointing for FC Leopards is that the government can sanction some, marathons, First Lady Marathon and
There's
other
some other
activities
sporting codes.
that are taking place, but they are not allowed to use the stadium. And they are saying, this isn't right. Why isn't the renovations finishing, and why you're allowing other, sporting code to take place and you can't allow us. This is affecting us. Even when they have tried to move out of, Nairobi, try and find other places, they are raising about 5,000 Kenya shillings. That is, cannot even cover the transportation and accommodation rate. So it has really hit the club so hard that if the government doesn't come on board, it's really a problem. But again, for me, this is an indictment again to the federation. You start to question what is the way the leadership of this man is friend Nick Mwenda.
Yes. What must Nick do, my brother?
It's
Your friend.
It's a whole problem.
Are you defending him again?
So
There's
it's
a problem.
New year. Nick must change now.
There's really a serious problem in Kenya, and even Gor Mahia has had the same problem of financial problem, and these are top sides. So you can imagine the mid team teams how they are coping.
Yeah.
I just feel like
Craig Tiaf, looking at what has been happening here. We always say that if you look at their national team, it seems as if they've got it right.
Yeah.
We're judging from the qualification in 2019. Hopefully they will be able to sustain that, continue that. We'll see. But when you've got that progress, this success in your national team. I mean, so are so many African countries that the national team seems as if well taken care of.
Yeah.
But when it comes to domestic affairs,
That's
always a neglect.
That's why Amoro is questioning this expansion of the AFCON.
No, never mind. That
It covers
is
it sweeps so many things.
No. Kenya, they deserve to
from that
qualify.
point of view,
bubbles of
They deserve to
qualifications
qualify.
that are
The
not-
difference.
but there are countries
that
as well that
camouflage this
there's a-
kind of administration.
So you mean Kenya
equivalent to
they didn't deserve to qualify or what?
No, it's not about deserving.
no.
No, they
talk
got the-
about the kind of administration. Because I can assure you, for example, Kenya, they have got Victor Wanyama, the main force, with the rest of some other foreign players. There's that mentality where players say we need to do it for ourselves. And the country will celebrate on the success of that initiative from the players.
Yeah.
But it's not being manifest in the administration, and that's why we are lacking. So when that success comes, it is short-lived. It's not, it's not planned, and that's the problem where it is. That's why we're having the problem where the administration is meant to be on the league, and we're not seeing it, but we are seeing them qualify.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, Kenya. I mean, you've heard us on so many occasions. Just speak up with this league that doesn't seem to
No. It's not only Kenya. It's everywhere in Africa.
It's everywhere. What is the problem? What is the problem?
The problem is that our governments in Africa, they don't try to help the youth, and helping the youth is in sport. We do have a lot of multinationals operating in our countries, and I'm actually on a mission to try to change the sport law in Congo to include the CSR, company social responsibility, which in every company, foreign-based company, coming to exploit our minerals in Africa, they have to abide by to give something to the sport. Each federation, we have identified 4 main federation for starting. So for that, we have to give them back some rebate in terms of the tax when they have to pay. Yes,
but Kenya had that.
I think Uganda, KCCA is a beneficiary of that. ShopRite, I think KCCA gave them land to construct ShopRite, and then the stadium currently that is being used by KCCA was constructed by ShopRite.
And when
that's the way to
go in Africa, because those guys, they come in, the milk our resources, they go out,
but
and
Jeff,
they left us with nothing.
But Jeff,
what
about this issue of at times I don't think we've been short of funds or short of sponsors or people that want to help football in Africa.
Yes.
But what about the other part where people say for us to give money,
it is a holistic.
There's no accountability.
There's no accountability.
Yes, they want to give, but at times they are reluctant to do that because
there's no.
Sometimes you can't even know who to give that money to, how the money was used. So at times, it's a catch-22. There are companies that would want to sponsor football on the African continent, but if you look at what even CAF is doing right now, It
No.
doesn't give confidence.
I went to Vodacom in Kinshasa, and I was very angry to hear that for a 16-team league, they give 400,000 US dollars. I say, this is an insult. You're not serious. Even Constable Mari was very close with me. And I said, no, Mr. President, I want to meet you. I want to have a discussion with you. This is an insult.
This is 400,000 USD over a certain period.
For 12 months.
For 12 months.
Yeah.
Imagine.
And,
16 teams.
16 teams.
Yes.
400,000 US dollars.
Yeah, 400,000 US dollars.
So-
And the winner gets 100,000.
And you know
Around-
very well.
around 6
and you
million.
know very well that Vodacom gives Kaizer Chiefs and Orlando Pirates 100 million rand.
100,
each.
absolutely.
Annually.
And that I gave that example. And I said, but when you talk about subscribers, in South Africa there are many. In Congo there are about 13,000. Vodacom is the prime the leader there. And then in Congo they pay in dollars, which is 14 times more than the rent.
Wow.
So which means that making more money in Congo than in South Africa. Why they don't leave that money in Congo?
We've become economists. You can see now we are talking big bucks. This is Frun.
Yeah.
Sports, hashtag Frun Sports.
And when I talk to them, they say that. But sometimes, Jeff, you have to understand something. We can give more. We can work out a package.
we can.
Yes,
Okay.
but when there's no professionalism in the way the league is run,
That is what that's the
Yes.
point I was trying to bring.
Yeah.
That also
Yeah.
for the sponsor to give
Yeah.
money, the two have to go hand in hand.
Absolutely.
But anyway, it's a topic for another day. We'll look at sponsorship. What are the challenges as we now try to get to the draw? Because how many groups? Greg Itafia, there are 10 groups here. I know when we come to the Nigerian group, you need all the time in the world to let us know your thoughts. Gentlemen, as you're all seated here, you are represented in these qualifiers for 2022. Your thoughts on your countries. Let me start with the gentleman here closest to me. Bafana. Group G. Ghana again. How many times are we going to play Ghana? Zimbabwe is there. Ethiopia 2014, I remember. You went there to Ethiopia. Yes, you came back empty-handed. Ethiopia has just beaten Cote d'Ivoire in the AFCON qualifiers. And people are looking at Ethiopia and say, look, that one is out of the way. Let's make sure that we get something from Zimbabwe, led by Kama Billiard, Musona, Munetsi, Tino, Kadewere. The list is endless. Those just bring shivers down the spine of Bafana. You talk of Ghana. I can tell already you've lost to Ghana.
AFCON.
What makes you think that?
I think what I like is that, especially when you reach the part of the Zim Warriors, you're only telling me about the attackers because you know that it's an empty bucket at the back.
Yes, Benny, tell us your thoughts on Group G.
Yeah, because remember you once took 8 strikers to the AFCON. The rest is history. What happened
Yes.
there? But look, when the draw was done, you know, and I could see they were slotting the teams into the
Yes.
groups. I was like,
You
I
could see where
don't
it's
want
going.
that Zimbabwean group. You know, I've been saying, I think I've shared this with you before.
Yes.
You know, for the past 2 years, like, I don't want to play Zimbabwe in a friendly match, in an official match. No. Not with the attack they've got. But what I can say is that for the technical team, especially the technical team that we've got now, the good thing with these World Cup qualifiers is that I would have a problem with them if they were going to start now.
Okay.
Now in March,
Yes.
as they were scheduled to start, I was going to have a problem because I'm still not sure about our team because the coach he's just started now.
Relatively new.
Yeah, exactly, and deep down I know that he wants to blend the team with these boys who are now with the under 23 who are going to the Olympics.
Yes.
So when we start the World Cup qualifiers. Later this year.
Do you mean it when you say
Yes,
is
I'm-
that
I'm
to
massive-
you?
I'm prepared to face anyone.
Okay. So you are anticipating a massive improvement.
Yeah, no, because
of
Very
all
well.
these
because there are guys who have to go now.
Yes.
You know, there are guys who have to go, and also the coach would be having not a makeshift technical team like you,
Yes.
because I was just not sure with his technical team. We have a press conference with the coach tomorrow,
Yes.
And we are going to pose these questions to him because experience is very important, especially as a coach. Yes, he's been there as an assistant to both Shakes Mashaba and also Baxter. When I talk experience, I'm not talking about him. He's been in this space for some time now, but his technical team.
Okay.
You understand? And SAFA here, I don't think they need to be stingy here. It is not good for a national team head coach to only have one assistant. You know, it is not good. So look,
you need a stronger technical team.
yeah, exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
Okay.
So I'm not really bothered with the draw, even though
you have to be
So
bothered.
you
You say Zimbabwe. You say you don't want to play. No. You say you don't want to play Zimbabwe in a friendly game. You don't want to play the official game now. Now you say not bother. They are threat to you.
I'm trying.
No,
Ghana is here.
I was saying back then.
But
Back
now
then.
you want to play them.
No. So what?
let finish his point.
History tells you that in African football, it is very difficult to beat any team at home.
Okay.
Take care of your home results, and this is also
Of
what
which
people-
Bafana
That's
hasn't
the
done so
Super
well.
Eagles.
hasn't done
Yes,
that well
at home.
at home.
Yes.
You know, but if you look at Bafana's record,
Away.
Yeah.
It's like vice versa.
yeah. This loss against Ghana, it was our first loss away in a very long time.
Yes,
you know, in a very long time.
Give them- yeah.
And my only concern is that in official matches, we've never beaten. We've beaten Ghana at the AFCON,
Yeah.
but not in qualifiers.
Qualifiers.
Remember, they were the reason we didn't go to 2006. World Cup. We
2006,
lost both
yes.
games, even
So
here
now
in FNB.
Yes.
No. We're talking about
You are taking
2006.
us
2006.
6 points
Yes,
out.
and okay, and remember the last time. Remember that game with the tear gas. The last time we qualified and we went to the World Cup, we played Zimbabwe and we beat you at National Stadium.
Yes, I remember.
In Harare.
Harare, yes.
You already
Yes,
took out 6
So
points
what I
from
can say
Ghana.
is that it is difficult for me now to say how we're going to play Zimbabwe because these players, they know each other too much. You know, some they play together in the same club. So
No, Mr. Ville,
for
why
me,
you say?
for me, it's a tricky group.
It's a
No,
tricky-
so
It's a tricky group.
All right, gentlemen,
But
so
I cannot
let-
say as a South African here,
Yeah.
and I say
You're not coming out from that group.
I'm afraid and we're not going to qualify.
Okay.
No, but
There
it's
you go.
football.
South African has
All right.
spoken. Let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah.
On
So you're Nigerian and you're going to be positive and you expect me to come here and say I'm not sure.
Greg,
Come
it's
on,
a
man.
no. Tell me about-
You have already taken out 6 points.
Oh.
Ghana have already got 6 points. from you.
Chineke.
So you already give up in that group.
Tell
there.
me about this group. The chances of Bafana last qualified as host in 2010.
Yeah.
Not the Super Eagles have been going.
Yeah.
Bafana
And Zimbabwe has never been to the World Cup, eh?
Zimbabwe is never.
It's never been to the World Cup.
Yes,
either.
always
Never been there.
first time.
Ethiopia has never been there. but if you look at Bafana,
Yeah.
who are desperate for this World Cup qualifier.
Yeah.
Last I
What
thought
are
you were
the
gonna say what about
Bafana has been to the World Cup.
Bafana, you see the biggest problem in this qualifiers World
Yeah.
Cup, after the group, you still have 10 to
The
still
round
play.
three, yeah.
But Bafana, I think they have every chance to qualify in this group.
what?
Depends on their record, as you say, the home games. Away, you never doubt them. But the home games, and you play against Zimbabwe. The Zimbabwe is only country. Forget about Ghana. Ghana can win at home, but coming here and to play in South Africa, South Africa, Bafana can win. But Zimbabwe, that's a tricky one. Because it's very close. Because most of them they play the PSL together. The players they know each other, and I think that's going to be the tricky one for them to qualify or not.
For
But
me,
that group,
for me, let me tell you. You're talking about your Ghanas. You're talking about your
Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwean.
yeah.
There's this small tiny country, Ethiopia.
No.
Ethiopia.
Leave Ethiopia.
No, it's
Leave
not. It's
Ethiopia.
not a joke.
Leave Ethiopia.
Ethiopia
Bafana
at this
can
moment,
beat
Elasta
Ethiopia
has
and
just
Ethiopia.
informed you that they have just beaten Ivory Coast. Now
In Ethiopia.
you cannot tell me
It's difficult to
that
beat any
if-
African
if,
country.
If you look at the
At
playing
its home base.
personnel
Yeah, in Ethiopia.
of Zimbabwe
Zimbabwe, yeah.
and Bafana
Bafana.
in comparison to Ivory Coast,
Yeah.
it makes you to sit and take watch. So this group,
No, the good thing about
This
Bafana,
group-
they play
this
as
group-
a team. There's no stars
this-
there apart
this
from,
group-
okay, you call your
this,
town
in my
there.
opinion, this group is evenly matched.
Okay.
They can compete.
Choose
all the
one
four teams
to
are
come
gonna
out from that
compete.
group.
All right, let me bring Jeff here. Jeff, you need to answer this tweet as well. Fido again,
Yeah.
just he says that I can assure you it's highly unlikely that Bafana will qualify, because after this round, there's another round to go to the World Cup. Now, if you look at Bafana winning the group, let's say Bafana wins the group.
Yes.
They need to still play one more country, which is 2 games, isn't it? Knockout.
Yeah.
And some are saying that definitely it's a no. There's no way South Africa. But Jeff, the very same Bafana beat Egypt, which is one of the teams that they might meet or was in that seeded in that pot 1. So why can't Bafana beat any team in pot 1?
Who says so?
Yes, who says so?
so?
Anything is possible. Because Bafana beat Egypt.
Very. Everybody is.
I think for me the hardest one, Jeff, the hardest for me is the qualifiers. I think the group.
But I don't count South Africa out.
You don't?
Not at all.
No. In fact, I think there was that. I think DRC under Ibenge. You played Algeria.
Yeah.
Was it Algeria?
Tunisia.
Is it Tunisia?
Yeah, Tunisia.
In the playoffs.
Yeah, for the World Cup.
Yes,
Tunisia.
And then for 2014, what?
You
You didn't make it.
No,
But
2014 we were that very close with this one.
With this one.
Yeah.
You know, I remember back then. It was against Tunisia. Yeah. They came very close.
Yeah,
and I remember Ethiopia were together in the qualifiers for 2014. In fact, Ethiopia were the reason Pizza got fired.
Yes.
In Rustenburg. I was there. There were more Ethiopians than South Africans at the stadium. Because South Africans were drinking they were drinking beer. In a spot opposite the stadium.
Opposite the stadium. I know
Right.
that place, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, Ethiopia ended up topping the group because Bernard Parker scored a beautiful own goal in Addis back then. Ethiopia played Nigeria and they came this close to ousting Nigeria. So
anybody
all right,
that
talking
Nigeria,
about Nigeria, this is African football. Hashtag France Sports. There are 10 groups
You
here.
can come close.
Group A to Group J. Tell us your thoughts as well. If you are South African, your thoughts as to how far can South Africa finally qualify the World Cup after missing on 2 of them, 2014, 2018. Looking at other groups as well. Maybe Jeff, let me bring you in here. It's a group dubbed the group of death. Do you think it is really a group of death? Looking at Cameroon, Cote d'Ivoire, Mozambique, and Malawi.
No, so that's not a group of death.
Yeah, people are saying group of death.
No,
I'm not sure why.
Group of death or for what?
No, because I mean,
Is it because Cameroon and Cote d'Ivoire? And looking at the 2 countries as well, Cameroon and Cote d'Ivoire, in all fairness, they haven't been so much at their best of late.
Cameroon is 5-time African champions. And Cote d'Ivoire is twice. And the last time that I saw the 2 countries meeting, squaring up each other for the World Cup, that was for the 2006 FIFA World Cup, when Cameroon.
Even recently they met. I think
it was not for the World Cup. Yeah, it was not for the World Cup. When Pierre Wome missed the penalty in Cote d'Ivoire. And that was the last time that he played for the national team, for the Indomitable Lions. So for now, with the current team of Cote d'Ivoire, they're not performing. They do have individuals. They do have good players, but they don't have a team.
But that's why we call it the group of death, because we always expect the Cote d'Ivoire, Cameroon, because the individual players
only 2 teams. The group of them with 2 teams.
Because I mean, the other group, there's other teams there. There's other country there. Which one? Mozambique and Malawi. Don't forget Mozambique. They have good players, but because you want one of them.
Both of them were not in the national team.
Yeah, but you have Cote d'Ivoire and Cameroon. You want one of them to be the next round, so that you can become. But look, tougher for other countries. But I think that's the only group of death you can call it.
So which group is the group of death? Let's look at this. Which group is the group of death? Timothy, let's look at Group F, where you've got the Mo Salah-led Egypt and also Pierre Aubameyang Gabon. There's Libya there. There's Angola there. Angola, yes, we're at the Nations Cup. You might say that this group poses some challenges for all the
Hey,
teams.
banana skin.
It is close to a group of death.
No, what you put
Yeah,
in
because
Libya.
if you-
Tell
you're
us,
looking,
I want
you're
to
looking
know
at
about the chances
Egypt.
of
You're
Egypt.
looking at
Yeah.
Egypt.
Wait.
You're looking
Are we
at
going to say it's close
You're-
to
you're
a group of
looking at-
death because there's Aubameyang?
no, not because of
And we've
that.
seen how poorly
He's not coming. He's not going to come.
They didn't
He's
even
not gonna come the next
qualify.
two games.
They didn't even qualify
Exactly.
for the AFCON.
Mr. T, Aubameyang doesn't come next two games. You come maybe last two games of the qualifiers before they
So,
they
so
go
would,
out.
would we say, Tim, that Egypt should easily win this group?
Don't be deceived.
no.
You know, in-
Angola can have a say.
Bafana beat Egypt. AFCON
Yes.
in Egypt.
Yeah.
So that rules out the fact that
Uganda
will
beat
stand.
Egypt.
So for me, you know, it's evenly matched. But you know, you have underdog teams like Libya, with all the conditions they are
And
going
that
through.
Libyan team,
Yeah.
With all the conditions
Yeah.
they're going through, Libya is a team that can, you know, spring a surprise. They beat Egypt. They flip this group because then Egypt has to win almost all the games.
Yeah.
Then you have got Gabon. They play hot and cold. You know, when Aubameyang is in the mood and everything like that,
No,
they
when he
perform. So for me, and then Angola, they have got the resources to compete.
Yeah.
They have got also a good team.
Yeah, good
If you look at their under 23, under 20 players, you know, if put together, they are very competitive. So Egypt should not deceive themselves that they are automatically qualified.
But with
Okay, Group
Egypt,
C. Group C. I want to hear the Nigerian what he says. Is it as obvious as it looks on paper? Walkover, you are just waiting for any country that comes to
No,
Lagos
no,
and you
no.
qualify again for the World Cup.
No, it's not going to be easy. You know, this is going to be a tricky group, especially with Cape Verde. That's the only,
Yeah, you know,
that's the only
Etafia,
tricky
Etafia,
one.
do you mean it?
Artificial
Cape
stuff.
No, he's right.
No, that's only-
I watched
Cape
Cape
Verde
Verde.
was struggling against Lesotho
No,
just now.
yeah.
No, but
this
I
is
saw
what-
Cape
this
Verde. That was
Altitude.
in the old,
Yeah.
in the
And that
in the
is what
World
they've
Cup
changed.
qualifiers.
Because
No, I
because-
saw them giving Cameroon problems in Cameroon.
That's, for me, Mr. Lasso, that's the only problem Nigeria we have. But
It's Cape Verde.
but- Yeah, Cape Verde.
The
But
only
rest,
problem.
The rest, okay,
the
they
rest,
held it.
Super Eagles, just waiting for the.
You lose to
Okay,
Liberia.
For the next-
I want to understand as well, to know from you, Jeff, Congo coming up against us, Congo, DR Congo, Benin, Madagascar, Tanzania. Your thoughts on
Mbwana
that?
Samata.
Yes.
This is what I can call group of death because in the group,
no.
everyone was at the last AFCON. That's the only group where you have four
Yes.
of them.
Yeah.
That were at the last
Yeah.
AFCON.
There you go.
Well, we're going to
Yeah.
World Cup
And
now.
then it's a
We're
different
going to World
Madagascar.
Cup now.
Yes.
It's a different Madagascar.
Yeah, very different.
Yeah.
Yes,
And they're
very
topping
different.
now. They're topping, eh?
Yeah. They're topping their AFCON group.
Yeah.
Very different. Benin, the Squirrel, they did very well at the
Yes,
last
they were-
AFCON.
yes, they did very well.
Yeah.
Tanzania.
The Taifa Stars,
Yeah,
they played
Taifa
well.
Stars.
They played well. They did play well. Yeah, but you know, after many years without going there, but just the mere fact of qualifying to go at a showpiece like an AFCON, it is a huge achievement
it is.
for a country like Tanzania.
Congo-
So, but
Congo has to dig deep. Has to
Congo,
dig deep.
they have to dig deep. Yes,
It won't be easy.
It's not given.
Yes, it's
That's
not
why I call
Group
it
F.
group of death.
Group F. Don't
And
forget.
how are they doing under the new coach?
Well, they drew the first two game.
Yeah,
Yeah, we drew. Gabon, by the way, I want to say that Gabon, they played very well under the new coach. I saw the game in Kinshasa against the Leopards. Under Patrice Neveu. Yeah, they are a force to be reckoned with now.
Gabon,
It's not just because of Obama.
Aubameyang.
They've got another guy who played for Saint-Etienne in France.
Yeah.
He's Bwanga. He's very good.
Very good.
Lemina, who used to play for
Juve.
Juve, and even in England, he was there for Southampton, maybe if I'm not mistaken. So they're becoming now a force to
Yes.
to be reckoned with. So we have to be very careful. It's not only about Aubameyang
Yes.
and Mohamed
Yes.
Salah. And Egypt is not the Egypt that we used to know.
Yes.
Because when Mohamed Salah is taken out of the game, the whole team doesn't play.
Doesn't
Yeah.
All right.
I just want to go back to Group F.
Please,
Because I
Quickly on
heard
that
him
one.
saying something about Angola. You know who's the coach there?
Who's the coach?
Emunike.
Oh,
Just
Munike,
to-
there you
just
go.
to-
All
just
right.
to- That's why they're going to be
Timothy, can you touch on Group E, where
No,
Uganda is,
Emunike
of
man has
course?
just been confirmed.
Angola.
Today.
Yeah.
No.
Angola.
Emmanuel Emunike.
Yeah,
No,
Emmanuel
it's
Emunike.
just
Angola.
No, it's just been confirmed. I think he's taken over a team in Egypt.
Oh, okay. There you
Back
go.
to Egypt.
We'll get called.
Oh,
But
okay.
Tim, I want to
It
hear
should
your
be
thoughts
Arab
on this.
contractors.
No.
It is Group E. It seems as if it's a COSAFA.
We shall have
tournament there.
we shall have
You've got
almost
Mali,
two
but
derbies.
the three countries from East Africa, Uganda, Kenya, and Rwanda.
Mali will
Your
spoil that.
chances-
It is
East African party.
COSAFA inviting Mali.
Sekafa invited
This,
Mali.
we shall
Sekafa,
have,
yeah,
we shall have
Sekafa.
two derbies, you know.
Yes.
Uganda, we shall have playing Rwanda and then playing
Mali will
bring
go
Kenya. Look, this group is evenly matched. I can tell you that.
Which Rwanda there?
Yes,
Evenly matched.
because, yes.
No one is equal to Mali.
Mr. T.
How do you
no.
say evenly
Mali.
matched?
No one is equal to Mali in this group.
On paper,
On paper, yes.
On paper.
On paper.
But
yes.
also Uganda.
But I can tell you that if you look at Rwanda, if you look at Kenya, they can feel they can beat Uganda to try and join Mali.
Sure.
And then I can assure you, Mali, we shall beat Mali in Kampala. So this group, you'll find Kenya. Kenya, Rwanda, they believe that they can pick a point from Uganda or each other, something like that. That's what I'm saying. This group is evenly matched. Mali will be shocked.
No, Mali will not be shocked.
Team.
Mali is
Team.
automatic.
This Malian team is
What are you
difficult
saying,
to
team?
The Malian team.
We
I'm
saw
telling
Mali
you,
top.
playing against Bafana.
Yeah,
I'm
and,
with the
and here they didn't even bring most of their players.
But you could see that.
And
team.
you could see even how they knocked out of the AFCON.
Mali as well
But,
in the,
yeah.
the under 20
Mr.
FIFA
Tim.
World Cup as well.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Ooh,
You
what
know,
a
the
team.
graduation
What
from
a
the
team.
young generation to
Yes.
the senior
Exactly.
team
Exactly.
is well taken
They've
care
done
of.
well.
Watch out for
on
the
that-
boy called Koita.
Yeah.
Mr.
Yes,
T,
yeah.
just concentrate on the AFCON.
He's a Red Bull.
Leave this
Yeah.
one for the bigger
You know,
boys.
watch
Mr.
out
T,
for that boy.
Uganda must just concentrate on AFCON.
midfielder.
Yes, the attacker, yeah. Yes.
I'm sure the producer.
All right,
Mr. T,
I'm sure the
leave
producer.
AFCON. You can concentrate on AFCON.
I'm
We,
sure-
the big boys, are going for World Cup.
I'm sure the producer. When this
That's just
qualifier
for
start,
AFCON.
when
The
this
big boys are
qualifier
going for World
start,
Cup.
you know, when this
There
qualifier
you
start,
go. Greg Tiaf
when this
tells
qualifier
Timothy
start,
that Timothy must focus on AFCON. On that note of focusing on AFCON,
Where are the top two qualifiers? Because only the big guns here.
no,
And you know what
we
I've
are
learned.
qualifying.
all right.
We won 1-1. We come again.
And you
Big
know what
boys.
I've learned with the World Cup
Yeah.
qualifiers? Hey, you know these big name players?
Yeah.
They come out.
No, World
Oh,
Cup
yeah.
qualifiers.
Yeah.
Nigeria,
They come out.
They were a perfect example
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
they got
But-
it right in the AFCON.
Yeah.
Nigeria would miss qualifying for
Yes.
AFCON. They don't
But
care.
No,
World Cup.
leave
They
it for
come
team. Team must be fighting there with all those other people there.
All right,
We
well,
talk about World Cup.
gentlemen, we've come to the end of our
But
show.
we shouldn't have talked about Senegal
want-
as well.
we
you know.
want to-
Yeah,
Oh, yes.
We will
yes,
cover
yes,
other
yes.
groups as we go on.
Okay.
I can tell you guys, but we've run out of time. Thank you very much for you who was listening, especially you who was just joining us in hearing the thoughts of these African gurus when it comes to football on the continent. Thank you very much. Thank you to Greg Itafia, Jeff Katala. Thank you very much. Timothy Patabaire, focusing on AFCON. Thank you very much. And of course, Velile Munyandu, for me.
We have turned the tables.
Until we meet again, have yourself a very
that's why
good,
we say-
pleasant evening.
Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Lasto.